Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is table. T-A-B-L-E.
Oh, I thought it was pronounced tablet. Really?
You bet your life!
Oh, that's awesome.
More than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
Land sakes, that's me, Groucho Marx. Well, here I am again with $2,500 for one of our couples.
Groucho, just before we went on the air, we asked for married couples to volunteer, and here come the two that were chosen, Dr. and Mrs. Lloyd Ely. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Like to find that around the house, eh? Dr. and Mrs. Lloyd Ely, eh? Well, the baseball season hasn't started yet, but I see the Giants are with us. Lloyd, which one is Lloyd? This is Lloyd.
I'm Lloyd.
Oh. How tall are you?
About 6 feet 3 inches in my socks, my stocking.
Mm-hmm. Mrs. Eli, is that the way you pronounce it?
Ely.
Ely, eh? You look even taller. How tall are you?
I'm about 6'5" with shoes.
Oh, well, that's marriage for you. She wears shoes and he goes around in stocking feet. How much you weigh, Doc?
About 240.
Is that with or without shoes?
Doesn't much matter.
Well, Mrs. Ely, what's your first name? I can't keep calling you Mrs. Ely.
Ann. Ann's fine.
Ann?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not Ann Sheridan, huh?
Oh, no. Ann
You
Sheridan.
look like her. You sure you're not Ann Sheridan?
Ann Sheridan's a redhead, and I don't believe she's 6'5" with shoes on, and I think you're flattering me.
I don't think so. Have you ever been a redhead?
No, I've been a blonde for about 16 years.
How old are you?
26.
Now, Doc, are you a dog doctor or a horse doctor? And if you're a horse doctor, what do you hear from Mare Island?
Well, I'm not a horse doctor. I'm a resident physician in internal medicine at Wadsworth.
You mean you just take care of residences?
No, not exactly. Veterans. It's a veterans hospital.
Oh. You're pretty young to be in a veterans hospital, aren't you?
Well, you have a point.
Yes, I have. It's right on top of my head. How do you like keeping house for a doctor, Ann? Do you find it exciting?
I don't keep house. I, too, am a resident physician at Wadsworth Veterans Hospital.
You're both doctors? Say, this is an amazing medical discovery.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 500 pounds of doctor staring down my throat. You work in a hospital, too, huh?
Yes, I do.
Well, one good intern deserves another. How long have you two been married? I presume you are married.
4 years and 8 months.
Mm-hmm. When did you meet old Sawbones here, Ann?
Met him in the first year of medical, when I was a medic.
Did you shake him well before taking him? Tell us about it. Was it love at first sight?
I didn't think too much of him when I first met him.
Thought he was just another pill, eh? Not even sugar-coated. What was the matter with him when you first met him that you changed your opinion of him?
Well, we were working over adjacent cadavers, and he asked me for a date.
You were working over what?
Adjacent cadavers.
What a lovely name for a summer resort. Spending a weekend at adjacent cadavers. Wish you were here. Well, was it easy to distinguish him from the cadavers? Not at first, huh? He was fairly quiet, huh? And what happened?
We were working...
How did you know whose hand you were holding?
At any rate, he asked me for a date at one of the fraternity balls, and I thought it was a bit late, and I didn't like the way he asked me.
How did he ask
thought
you?
it was a last resort.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the summer resort, I guess. Doc, that's you, Lloyd. How is your bedside manner? For example, how do you cheer up a patient?
Well, try to reassure them, explain the disease that they have, what they can look forward to in the future, and try to make them as happy as possible.
Do you ever tell them jokes?
Well, rarely. Rarely. My stock isn't too good.
Well, do you have any rib ticklers at all? I'm always in the market for a real corker, you know.
Well, I have a few.
Could you knock one off here?
Well, I occasionally tell the one about seeing a man in the hospital hall who was hopping up and down on one foot. And I asked him what was the trouble. And he told me, well, I saw my doctor the other day. He told me to take pills for 2 days and then skip a day.
And do any of the patients recover from that joke?
Only a few.
Seems to me that's worse than giving him an appendectomy. But what are your plans for the future, Lloyd? Will Anne retire and take up housekeeping as a career?
No.
Or housewifing?
We plan to set up an office together.
Oh, that's nice. Well, how are you going to decide who gets the patients?
Well, we'll probably divide them.
I had no idea you were both taking surgery. They don't bother splitting fees. They just split the patient. Well, you're a charming and interesting couple. And, Doc, if she ever gets mad and sticks her tongue out at you, be sure to send her a bill.
I'll do that.
Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play a bet your life for a chance at the $2,500 question. Now, right now, I want you to listen to these words of importance.
It's the talk of the nation. It's now at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. America's most spectacular new car. The new DeSoto Fire Dome 8. With a revolutionary new Fire Dome V8 engine. 160 horsepower. Thanks to its dome-shaped combustion chambers, you get more power from every drop of gas. More power using less gasoline. And regular gasoline at that. That DeSoto Fire Dome V8 engine gives you surging power and acceleration in all speed ranges. Power with smoothness never before achieved. The new DeSoto also brings you sensational power steering that lets you turn the wheels with one finger, even when the car is at a standstill. Add in the sleek lines of DeSoto's new air vent hood, new safer power brakes, and a host of other great features, and you have America's most talked about new car. The new 160 horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome 8. Go to your DeSoto Plymouth dealers tomorrow. See and drive this great new car. The 160 horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome 8.
All right, now let's see how you work together as a team. George, explain the rules,
You bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions, and the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $2,500 DeSoto Plymouth question later in the show.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected sciences ending in ology as your category. Here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you bet?
1950.
What is the science called that deals with the structure of the Earth?
Geology.
Geology is right.
Well, you're on your way. You have $39.50.
Remember, you're going for $2,500 tonight. How much of the $39.50 will you risk now?
$39.
What is the science called that deals with the skin?
Dermatology.
That's true.
You've now climbed to $78.50.
And here's your third question. How much of this vast loot will you bet this time?
78.
Oh, all right. 78.
What is the science called that deals with human behavior?
Psychology.
Psychology is right. How do you spell it, Doc?
P-S-Y-C-H-O-L-O-G-Y.
Say, that's right good, huh?
You now have $156.50.
I thought that was Physio Wally School. You have $156.50, and how much of this are you going to try this time?
All of them.
All right. All of it.
All right, what is the science called that deals with ancient things and relics of early races of mankind?
Archaeology. Paleontology.
One answer now.
You think it's paleontology?
Come on, kids. Time's a wasting.
Archaeology.
Archaeology is right. You're pretty alive. And she talked him out of it, too.
You wind up with $313.
Well, thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Thank you.
Lovely luck.
We have a couple of young people for you now, Groucho. They were chosen from our studio audience just before we went on the air. I'd like you to meet Mrs. Perry Ann Webb and Mr. Herman G. Smith. Folks, would you come in here, please, and meet Groucho Marx?
Well, welcome, kids, to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Let's see. Herman G. Smith and Mrs. Perihan Webb. Is that right?
Perihan Webb.
Perihan Webb, eh? How old are you, Herm?
35.
35, huh? And where are you from?
Born in above an undertaker's parlor in Dillon, Montana.
You didn't happen to meet two Gadavas there, did you?
I have to ask my mother.
Where were you born? In Montana?
Dillon, Montana.
Uh-huh. Is that a cowboy town? A mining town?
I believe it's a mining town.
Oh, it's been quite some time since you were there.
Yes.
How long?
35 years.
You left the day you were born?
2 days later.
You learned to walk quickly, didn't you? What sort of work do you do?
Well, it's a little bit difficult to tell you. I'm in between jobs. I worked for the Red Cross for 16 years, and now I'm making a change.
You going with the Blue Cross now?
No, I'm going to private enterprise, Long Beach Amusement Company.
That's what we need, more private enterprise. This is a Hoover man, I can tell that. Mrs. Perihan Webb. Huh?
Webb.
You're the housewife?
Yes, I am.
A very attractive one, too.
Thank you very much.
Have you always been this pretty?
Well, I don't remember.
What's your hometown, Perihan?
Istanbul.
Istanbul?
Mm-hmm.
Well, where is that?
In Turkey.
Oh, really? I thought the only thing in Turkey was stuffing. That's not a very good joke, is it?
No.
You don't have to agree quite so quickly. You can kind of played around with it for a while. You're married, huh?
Yes, I am.
Unfortunate. Where did you meet your husband, in Turkey or in America?
In Paris.
Was he a parasite?
No.
Did you like that joke better than the one about the stuffing?
No.
This girl is 100% right. She doesn't like any joke I've said. Well, did you get married in Paris or in Turkey?
In Greece.
Got married in Greece, eh?
Yes.
Out of the frying pan into the fire.
No.
What does your husband do?
He's in the army.
In the Greek army?
No, in American army.
Oh, I see. How did you meet your husband, Perihan?
Well, I was in Paris, and we were crossing the street with my friend, and somebody was coming so fast.
He was crossing the street with your friend?
I was crossing the street with
his
my friend. No, with my own friend.
Oh, and he was in Greece?
No, in Paris.
Oh.
I was in Paris, and he was in Paris too that time.
Oh, he was in Paris?
Yes.
Eh? Oh, I see.
And then after I was crossing the street, and somebody was coming so fast, and he put the brake, and he went. Whee!
He was in a car?
Yes, he was driving the car.
Oh.
And
this was
then
an
after-
army car?
No, he was his own car.
Oh.
Yes.
So he put the brakes on real fast?
Uh-huh.
And?
And then after, I scared, of course, and my friend also
You what?
scared. I scared very much.
You were scared?
Yes,
Why?
I was
Did he
scared.
look so horrible? Or?
Well, we almost got killed.
Oh.
And then after he got out from the car, he said, "I'm sure I didn't mean to kill you, but I can take you where you go."
I didn't mean to kill you, but I'd like to have another go at it.
And then after, I said, "Okay, take us home." And we ride the car.
And you make
And
a
he took
practice
us
of
home.
getting in cars with strange men and driving around Paris?
Well, it's not so bad.
I hope you've broken that habit, have you?
No, I didn't.
You mean every time you cross the street and somebody stops their car, you hop in and go away?
Oh, no. Well,
Just
no.
occasionally, yeah?
Sometimes.
When do you plan on crossing the street again? Let's talk about your romance a little more. Now, you say you met your husband in Paris.
Yes.
How could you marry him in Greece? Didn't you catch him until then?
Well, I went to Greece. I used to go very often to Greece.
You used to go
visit
where?
my friend to Greece.
You used to go to Greece?
Yes, very
Salonika?
often. No, Athens.
What did your husband say when he asked you to marry him? Do you remember?
Yes, he come and he said, "Who is those guys?" Well, I said, "They are my friend." And then after, he said, "Please don't go with them out." I said, "Why?" "I like to have a couple of friends. I go out, I have fun. I don't have anything serious with any of you," I said. Oh, he said, "Please don't talk like this. You know how much you mean to me, and I want to marry you." And then after, I said, I can't say yes unless if you go and ask my mother first.
You mean you gave your mother first crack at this guy? They do things different in Athens. Now, where were the Romans while this was going on? Were they at the gates? Now, what happened then?
And then after I wrote, "Dear mother," I said, "This guy is a nice guy and he wants to marry me. What do you think about it?"
What'd your mother say? Did she say yes?
No.
She said no?
Yes.
She certainly changed her mind in a hurry. Well, I've enjoyed talking to you two. And if you want to enjoy something, you take a ride in the new DeSoto Fire Dome 8. You'd be crazy about it.
Okay.
Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $2,500 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
Our two doctors won $313, and the secret word is table.
Let's see how high I can build you $20. You get 4 questions. All of these questions can be answered by pronouncing a single letter of the alphabet. Now, here's your first question. How much will you bet? And talk real loud. And talk it over between.
1950?
Yes.
Okay, 1950.
1950, yeah? All right, give me the name of an insect that can be answered with one letter.
Flea? That's more than one. Huh?
B.
B.
All right, well, that's too bad. All right, the big money, anyhow, is the $2,500. You have 50 cents left. How much of this will you bet on your second question? How much are you going to bet?
All of it.
All of
All of it? All right. What do you call the rod or stick used in billiards?
Q.
Q is right. All right, now you've got $1. How much of this are you going to bet this time?
All of it.
All of it. What is the letter that is an abbreviation for a national club for young men and women?
Why?
Y is right. How could you miss the first one?
Well, you got me.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the $2 are you going to bet
All
now?
of it.
All of it. Give me the name of a bird that can be answered with one letter of the alphabet. Take a stab if you don't know.
What?
Nothing?
Nothing.
J.
J. Bird.
Blue jay.
They went broke,
It's a corn plaster. All right, well, we can't let you leave here with... How much have they got, $2?
Nothing.
Nothing. Well, I'm going to give you one question. You get it right, and you'll win $25. You ready?
Ready.
What color is the White House?
Happens to be white.
White is absolutely right. Hey there, kid.
Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a couple of young people. They're single. Groucho, I want you to meet them. They're Miss Mary Lou Schwartz, Mr. Michael Mekjian. Come on in here and meet Groucho Marx. Right there.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Miss Marilyn Schwartz, huh?
Mary Lou.
Mary Lou Schwartz, huh? And Mr. Michael Mekjian?
That's very good.
It is, huh? How old are you, Mary Lou? That's a blunt question. I expect a blunt answer.
24.
24, huh? Well, you were a very young-looking 24. I thought you were about 23. I understand you're not married. Am I right?
Yes.
Are you engaged?
No.
How old are you, Mike?
I'm 30.
30. Well, that's the... And you're not married?
No?
Well, don't get any wrong ideas about Mary Lou here.
I'm not.
I'll thank you to go out and find your own girls. Are you interested in matrimony, Mary?
Yes, I could be.
This is leap year, you know. Have you made any plans to do any leaping?
No.
Then why are you wearing your third finger on your left hand? No answer. Well, let's find out something about you two. You two may be more compatible than you realize. And Lloyd's will give you 8 to 5. This boy doesn't leave this program single here tonight. What sort of work do you do, Mike?
I'm a landscape architect.
Just what is a landscape architect?
Well, a landscape architect is probably a man who designs, develops, and supervises outdoor space for human use and enjoyment. To the average homeowner, it means maybe...
It means about $3,000.
Well, that's a good price. Yeah. It really means designing... to a homeowner, it means designing a garden.
Mm-hmm. In other words, you're a gardener. Well, why didn't you say that?
Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm not a gardener. A gardener couldn't perform my job any better than an usher could perform your job.
Not so loud. There are 6 ushers out there, and 4 of them have their own program. And the other 2 have their eye on this job. Well, I originally started out thinking I could get you two together, but it seems like I'll have to resort to trickery. I'll bet you a dozen roses, Mary Lou, against your phone number that I can get you to propose to Mike here. You want to bet? Huh?
I'll bet you can't.
We'll see. I'll give you a little practice quiz. Huh? Now, wait a minute now. Let me think. What do you call the document disposing of a person's property at death?
Will.
Okay. Now, what do you call a female sheep?
You.
Oh, am I sucking her in here? Now, think hard, Mary Lou. Who was the little girl who had a little lamb?
Mary.
Now, what have you got so far?
Will you marry?
This is a cinch. One more question now. Think now, Mary. What is the third note in the scale?
Fa.
Why, you scoundrel, you, huh? Why, Mary, it's supposed to be me. Your scale is even crookeder than the one in the butcher uses. Well, you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you get a chance at the $2,500 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The 2 doctors still lead with $313.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected names of states. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
19.
Nicknames of states. Oh, I beg your pardon.
19?
Nicknames of states.
19.
All right. What state is nicknamed the Sunflower State?
Kansas.
Kansas is right.
Oh.
You're on your way. You have $39.
Remember, you're going for $2,500 tonight. Now, how much of the $39 will you bet on your second question?
39, you say?
You don't have to kiss her. Just tell her what.
38.
$38, huh? All right. What state is named the Show Me State?
Missouri.
Missouri is right.
Thank
You now have $77.
Here's the third question. How much will you bet?
What'd you say?
Talk over. Talk it up.
75.
75.
She
All right.
chooses.
What state is nicknamed the Hoosier State?
Indiana.
Indiana.
You climb to $152.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the $152 are you going to try?
150.
150. What state is nicknamed the Buckeye State?
Ohio.
Ohio is right. Put your arms around me. Give him a big kiss.
And you wind up with $302.
This is killing me for the roses tomorrow, you know.
And that means that our two doctors with $313. In just 1 minute, get a chance at the $2,500 DeSoto Plymouth question.
You did pretty well.
Don't let another day go by. Now is the time to get your car ready for spring. But remember, don't take it just anywhere. Take it tomorrow to your DeSoto Plymouth dealers and ask for a springtime live action tune-up. Here, expert mechanics will go over the engine of your car, adjusting carburetor, distributor, and timing, checking your car's electrical system after the heavy load of winter. They'll check the cooling system and put it in shape for the extra miles of warmer weather driving. And they'll see to it that your car is properly lubricated to factory specifications. You'll drive out in a far peppier car, ready for thousands and thousands of miles of trouble-free economical operation. And remember, too, the service at a DeSoto Plymouth dealers is prompt. The price is fair. So drive in for that springtime live action tune-up tomorrow. You owe it to your car. You owe it to yourself, for this can mean a summer of happy driving and trouble-free operation for your car. Just look for the famous sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And here comes the two doctors.
He's real joy.
The winning couple all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $2,500 question.
All right, here we go for $2,500. And if you lose this money, you can go home tonight and at least you'll know what to take in the way of medicine. However, I'm not rooting for you to lose. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully and please no help from the audience. Here it is. One of the sights of London is a famous waxworks, where celebrities of all kinds are displayed as wax figures. For $2,500, what is the name of this world-famous oddity? Talk it over. What is the answer you two have decided upon?
Chase's waxworks.
No, I'm sorry. It's Madame Tussauds waxwork.
Yeah.
It's a very famous museum. That's the correct answer, so that means the big question next week will be worth $3,000. Well, you lost the big money, but how much did they win in the quiz, George?
$313 in the quiz.
Well, congratulations and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $3,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks. Remember, see the DeSoto 508 tomorrow.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Good drivers drive safe cars. So wise up, check up, fix up. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is chair. C-H-A-I-R.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
Just call me Sam. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $3,000 for one of our couples. What have you got on the agenda, Mr. F.?
Well, Groucho, we have a jockey and a librarian for you first tonight, and I'd like you to meet them right now. Miss Margaret Light and Mr. Eric Guerin, come on in and meet Groucho Marx, will you?
Well, welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you use every day.
Thank you.
A librarian and a jockey, eh? Eric Guerin, is that right?
Guerin.
Guerin, you're a pretty well-known jockey, especially in the horsey set, aren't you? Huh? How tall in the saddle are you, Eric?
About 5'4".
5'4". How much do you weigh, Boil Away?
Well, most of the time around 115.
115. Well, I'm happy to have you here. You're the first contestant we've ever had here who I could lick. Mrs. Light, you're a librarian?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from?
Originally from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Mm-hmm. What is your hometown, Mr. Guerin?
Maringouin, Louisiana.
Eric Guerin from Maringouin? Sounds like a label on a jar of marinated herring. Shake well before using. Who do you work for, Mrs. Light?
I work for the Los Angeles County Public Library.
Oh, you're a librarian, huh?
Yes.
I see. Where is your library located?
Well, it's in not any special place. We move from time to time, about 4 or 5 times a day.
You're certainly on the move, all right. You're not a librarian. I think you're a bookie. Now, before this joint is raided, I think you'd better explain that.
Well,
why do you keep moving so frequently?
Well, I'm a bookmobile librarian. We go from place to place, and we have the technical name for it is a traveling library. We are...
what did you say, a bookmobile?
A bookmobile or a traveling library.
On this show, it's a DeSoto-mobile.
Well...
Now, Eric, let's talk about your work. How long have you been riding?
About 11 years.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever won any races?
Yeah, I've won a few, about 700 or 800.
You mean you're always out in front of the others, eh?
Not all the time.
You should run last sometime. You'd get an entirely different picture of horse racing. Have you ever won any of the more important races, Eric? The red?
Yes, I've won a few of those.
What have you won?
I won the Kentucky Derby in 1947 on
really?
Jet Pilot.
On Jet Pilot, Well, go on, neigh for the people, will you? How much did you get for winning the Kentucky Derby?
Well, the race was worth about $100,000 to the winner, and I got 10%.
And how long did it take you, this race?
About 2 minutes, 6 seconds.
That's life for you. Eric rides 2 minutes and gets $10,000. The horse does all the work, and all he gets is a kick in the ribs. And they keep talking about horse sense. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play Bet Your Life for a chance at the $3,000 question. Right now, I want you to pay attention to something of unusual importance.
Say, Groucho, I saw you drive by the other day. I want to compliment you on your good taste.
Oh, that. Fenneman, have you ever seen such beautiful lines?
Well, you got me wrong, Groucho. I was referring to your new convertible. Your new DeSoto Fire Dome 8. Man, what a dream.
Whose dream is this, Fenneman? Folks, I just want to say I've owned a lot of cars in my day, but I've never had one that could even remotely compare with the new DeSoto. I hope you'll see and drive the new DeSoto Fire Dome 8 real soon.
Yes, friends, go to your DeSoto Plymouth dealers tomorrow. That's the place to see and drive America's most talked-about new car. The new DeSoto Fire Dome 8, bringing you that mighty 160-horsepower V8 engine that gives you smooth, surging power in all speed ranges. Sensational power steering that makes turning the wheels effortless even when parking. Power brakes and scores of other great features that add up to the car you've always dreamed of owning. Remember, it's at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Stop in tomorrow.
And when you do, tell them Groucho sent you.
See it, drive it, and you'll want the new 160-horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome 8.
All right, now let's see how you work together as a team. George, would you explain the rules to these children?
You bet as much of your $20 as
Oh,
you want on each of 4 questions, and the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $3,000 DeSoto Plymouth question later on in the show.
Even I understand that. All right, here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected characters from famous books. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
1975?
Yes.
All right, and what book is the character Becky Shaw?
Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair is right.
Well, you're off to a great start. You have $39.75.
Funny, I always thought that was a magazine. Remember, you're going for $3,000 tonight. Now, how much of your $39.75 you going to bet this time?
About $39.50?
Yes.
All right, and what book is Jean Valjean, the thief, a central character?
Les Miserables.
Les Miserables is right. All right, how much have they got?
I'm a little behind here.
Well,
79. Well, together we make this $79.25, right?
Fenneman is the best-dressed cretin I've ever seen. All right, and what book? How much you going to bet?
Let's make it easy. 79.
Yes.
Thank you.
In what book is the character Sancho Panza?
Don Quixote.
Don Quixote is right. Until I was 40 years old, I pronounced that Don Quixote.
You now have $158.25.
I prefer Don Quixote. How much have they got?
Shoot the works.
$158.25.
Shoot the works.
The whole thing?
Yeah. Everything?
Parlay
Coming
it
down the
all.
stretch, huh? All right, here we go. Hawkeye was the guide in what famous book?
One of Robert Louis Stevenson's.
Talk it over.
Let me see. Do you know the Hawkeye? Oh, let's see. Robert Louis, Hawkeye.
Some book.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't know.
I'm sorry, but it's The Last of the Mohegans.
Oh, yes.
It was so obvious that you just stumbled right over it.
Lost
Now, you
all
have
of it.
nothing? Well, it makes it easy for Fenneman, but difficult for you. But nobody leaves here with nothing. I'm going to give you one question. You get it right, and we'll bring your winnings up to $25. Who is buried in Grant's tomb?
Grant?
General Grant is right, huh? Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Groucho, the next couple to try for the $3,000 was selected from our studio audience just before we went on the air. They're Mrs. Wilma Pickert and Mr. Donald Park. Folks, come in and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, howdy doody. Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you use every day. Mrs. William Pickett and Mr. Donald Park.
Mrs. Wilma Pickard.
Mrs. What did I say?
You said William.
William. Well, it's possible, isn't it? Mrs. Wilma Pickett. I prefer William myself. Mr. Park, where are you from?
Bakersfield, California.
Bakersfield, California, huh?
Yes, sir.
Mighty hot up there, isn't it?
Yes, it was.
It was. How long since you've been there?
About 40 years.
40 years. You must be quite an authority on the weather in Bakersfield. You been here the last 40 years?
No, I've been here the last 25.
Mm-hmm. Where were you in between?
All around.
Shifty answer. What is your hometown, Mrs. Pickett?
I was born in Chicago on the south side.
On the south side of Chicago. It's a windy city. Does the wind still blow in Chicago?
Oh, yes, there's a cold wind blows there all winter.
Well, don't worry. When the politicians get there for the conventions, there'll be a hot wind blowing all summer. I used to live in the south side. Whereabouts did you live? I used to live in Grand Boulevard on 45th Street.
Well, I lived on 44th Street,
Gee,
just out near Vincennes.
Well, I was 4512 Grand Boulevard.
I lived 548 East 44th
Oh,
Street.
let's get together sometime.
Right around the corner.
Yes. It's unfortunate that we didn't meet earlier. White Sox had a real good team then, too. It was the Black Sox.
remember my father talking about that.
Well, I heard it from my father, too. As a matter of fact, my father was one of the Black Sox. What sort of work do you do, Don? You've been standing there pretty quietly for quite some time.
Associate Supervisor in Physical Education at the University of California at Los Angeles.
Oh. What sort of work do you do there?
I'm in charge of the aquatic program.
What program did you say?
Aquatic.
Aquatic.
Mm-hmm.
The only aquatic program I know is the Democratic program. What is aquatics?
Well, it has to do with water.
That could be the Democratics, all right. Good many of them are in hot water right now. Are you married, Mr. Parks?
Yes, I am.
You are, huh? Where'd you meet your wife?
Circus.
Was she selling peanuts or catching them?
We were both attending college at the University of Oregon, and the circus was in town, and we'd both gone up to the circus, and after we came out of the sideshow, she needed a way to get home, so I asked her if she'd ride in my jalopy, and I took her home to her sorority house, and...
Well, did she know you were from the same university she was?
I hope she did.
Well, did you ever find out?
Oh, yes, I found out later.
That's a kind of a promiscuous approach, isn't it?
Well, not in those days.
You mean those were the wicked days?
Well,
Things have quieted down
I
since
wouldn't
then?
say that.
They've only
but,
quieted down for you and I, Mr. Parks.
Well, they have slowed up, I'll admit that.
Yes, I don't know whether they have, but we have.
That's right. That's right.
How did you meet Mr. Pickett, Wilma?
Well, I was in the Army, and he was in the Army. And I was sent out on very secretive orders and discovered that I was at Los Alamos, New Mexico, at the Atomic Energy Commission. Everyone who was stationed up there went through quite a bit of security process, and there was an MP who was assigned to each group who were taken into security. And he was rather a nice-looking MP. He had on a white hat. He had beautiful eyes.
You had a white head, did you say?
White. One of these white metal hats on his head. And I was assigned to Dr. Robert Oppenheimer's division.
Oh.
And
was this long division or short division?
He was the leading scientist at the Atomic Energy Commission.
Oh.
In fact, he's been credited with having perfected the atomic bomb.
Nice of him. Count of him, I had to get 4 bottles of water in my house. And a flashlight. And a fire extinguisher. And 11 cans of tomato juice. That's my equipment in case war breaks out. What kind of a life did you lead at Los Alamos?
Oh, it was perfectly horrible up there. You see, it was practically an empty reservation. There were no movies, no entertainment. In fact, there just wasn't anything to do.
Well, I'm sure you could have found something to do. You could have gone fishing, you know. I understand at Los Alamos the fishing was very good. Especially the nuclear fishing. No groaning, please. I just liked it just as much as you did. Huh? Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, you'll get a chance at the $3,000 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The first couple lost all their money, so these people have a clear field. And the secret word is chair.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can bid you $20. You selected sporting terms. Now, here's your first question. You have $20. How much will you try?
What do you want to bet?
19.5.
1950? All right, let's try it.
1950. In what sport is the expression dormy used?
Golf.
Talk it over.
Golf.
Golf.
Golf is right. Got to squeeze it out of him.
You're on your way with $39.50.
Remember, you're going for $3,000 tonight. Now, how much of the $39.50 you're going to try this time?
Let's shoot the 39.
Okay.
$39. In what sport is the expression a split used?
Bowling.
Bowling is right.
You now have $78.50.
And here's your third question. How much of this sum are you going to try?
78.
78.
In what sport is the expression shuss used? S-H-U-S-S. If you don't know, take a stab at it. If you don't know, guess.
No.
Take a guess.
Shoes, I don't know. I haven't any idea what shoes is. None at all.
Well, it's skiing.
Oh.
You've dropped to 50 cents.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the swag are you going to bet this time?
All of it.
All of
All
it?
of it.
In what sport is the expression across the board used?
Horse racing.
Horse racing is right.
Well, they wound up with $1, Groucho.
Well, nobody leaves here with $1. I'll give you one more question. Get it right, and we'll bring your winnings up to $25. Ready? In which direction is the North Pole?
North.
North is right, huh? Thanks and good luck. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
We have a couple of young single people for you now, Groucho. They were selected from our studio audience just before we went on the air. And here they are, Miss Nina Moeller, Mr. Jack Wright. Will you come in here and meet Groucho Marx, please? Right here.
Well, welcome, youngsters, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you use every day. Mrs. Nina Moeller and Mr. Jack Wright. As healthy a brace of contestants as I've ever looked at. How old are you, Jack?
19 years old.
19? You're a real big boy, aren't you? Where are you from, Jack?
San Angelo, Texas.
San Angelo? Are they all that big down there?
Guess so.
How long you been up here?
18 years.
Did you arrive under your own power?
Well, no, I was courted by my mother.
You were courted by your mother?
Well, I mean accompanied by my mother.
Oh. What sort of work do you do?
I work for Beacon's Van and Storage Company.
Oh, you're a moving man, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, from the looks of what's standing next to you, I think I can guess the direction you're going to start moving. But you better move fast, boy, if you want to be there fastest with the mostest. Nina Moeller, is that right?
No, it's Müller.
It's what?
Müller.
How do you spell it?
M-U-L-L-E-R.
M-U-L-L-E-R. What kind of a letter is
It's Ö. It's an O with a line through.
Oh.
It's pronounced Ö.
Well, yourself, huh? I'm not familiar with that line, but I'd say the rest of your line should be pronounced with an exclamation point. How old are you, Nina?
I'm 19.
19, huh? Are you married?
No.
Where are you from?
Denmark.
Which part of Denmark? Norway or Sweden?
I live outside Copenhagen, near the Øresund.
Oh, I know the Øresunds very well. Get married up. What is the Øresund?
Well, it's one of the straits between the Danish islands.
Is that anywhere near Dire Straits? I've been in Dire Straits for many years. It's an intellectual joke. It's nothing. Eh? Now, Jack, could you get interested in Miss Müller? With the umlaut or the umlaut? Sprechen Sie Deutsch, Miss Müller?
Well, a little bit.
Kleine bisschen, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could you get interested in Miss Müller?
Well, no. I think it wouldn't be hard.
He's a moving man, all right. He's beginning to make his move already. Let's talk about the moving business. For example, what kind of things do you move?
Well, we move anything, doesn't fasten down.
Nina, my advice to you is get a good grip on yourself. Huh? What are the requirements for your job, Jack?
Well, there's a little joke around the warehouse that you got to have a strong back and a weak mind.
Well, it's certainly a little joke, all right. That's as tiny a joke as I've encountered in a long time. You have any other jokes around there, Jack?
Well, not that I can call right now.
What are you doing in America, Nina?
I'm an exchange student.
An exchange student?
Yes.
Really, we Yankees always were good traders, weren't we? What were you exchanged for? A couple of battleships?
No.
I'm sure it was something substantial. Office building?
No, I'm here on a Pan-Atlantic scholarship.
What does that consist of?
Well, it's all the sororities that pay for a foreign student each year.
Mm-hmm. And how do you achieve one of these scholarships?
Well, you turn in your grades and then you write a letter why you want to go and what you plan to do.
If I wrote a letter on why I wanted to go and what I planned on doing, I'd get a scholarship in Alcatraz. What school are you attending?
USC.
Somebody out there from Stanford. Now, Nina, as I've been looking at you, you know, a thought occurs to me. I may have a strong back and a weak mind, but I do get thoughts occasionally. I imagine a pretty girl like you gets lots of attention from members of the other sex.
Well.
How do you refuse a date when you want to reject it?
Oh, I don't know. If I really don't want to go out with him, I'll make up some excuse about having a test.
Well, let's assume for the moment that this fellow is a persistent Lothario and kind of relentless on the prowl.
Well, the second time I tell him that I had a date with another fellow.
Suppose this fellow refuses to be discouraged and asks you for the third time.
Well, and then I tell him again that I had a date with another fellow.
And the fourth time, this fellow I'm thinking of never gives up.
Well, if he hadn't caught on by then, he must be pretty dumb.
That's true. I know this fellow, and he is pretty dumb. But he's got a mighty strong back. Well, you're a lovely couple, and if anything develops between you two...
I'll let you know.
I'd rather you wouldn't, Nina. Of course, it'll depress me for some months. Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $3,000 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The housewife and the swimming teacher are ahead with $1.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected professions and occupations as your category. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
Go ahead.
18.
Okay, 18.
$18. What do you call a person who sells goods at a public sale to the highest bidder?
Auctioneer.
Auctioneer is right.
Well, you're on your way. You have $38.
Remember, you're going for $3,000 tonight. How much of the...
38.
38 are you going to try this time?
Okay, go ahead.
All right. 30.
He wins.
How much?
30.
What do you call a man who measures land?
Landscaper.
No,
I take that back.
Land measured.
Talk it over.
It's a land measured land.
I know.
I mean, look through when I move the eyeglass.
Yeah, and my vocabulary isn't very good in English. That's why I can't help it.
Everything else is, Nina. He knew it, but he just couldn't think of it, that's all. It's a surveyor.
Oh, yes, it's true.
Well, you still have $8.
Well, now don't get discouraged. Here's your third question. How much of the $8 will you try this time?
All of it.
All of it. What do you call the doctor who specializes in the care of children?
I don't know it in English. I'm sorry.
Would be an obstetrician.
No. You're close, but it's pediatrician.
Oh.
No, they got nothing, huh?
They're broke. Gotcha.
Nobody leaves here broke. I'm going to give you one more question. If you get it right, you're going to win $25. It's a tough question. Are you ready?
Okay.
What kind of shoes does a horse wear?
Horseshoes.
Horseshoes is right, huh?
And also, the housewife and the swimming teacher with $1 get the chance in just 1 minute at the DeSoto Plymouth $3,000 question. Here is a friendly tip to every car owner. Only skilled hands, only expert mechanics using scientific equipment should ever be allowed to touch the engine of your car. That's why you should take your car for service to a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. In a DeSoto Plymouth dealer's shop, there are master technicians, men with the experience and know-how. Not only are they experienced, but these men are kept up to date on the latest techniques of servicing your car. Recently, over 6,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealer mechanics from coast to coast attended 252 special refresher training schools to study the latest factory methods and up-to-the-minute service techniques. Their periodic training pays off for you, because you can thereby rest assured that at a DeSoto Plymouth dealers, you get the very finest service you can get anywhere. Highly skilled men, the most modern tools and equipment, and quick access to the right factory-tested and approved replacement parts. Those are three things you can always count on at a DeSoto Plymouth dealers. For all this efficient attention, and for the courtesy and promptness that goes along with it, you pay a price that's fair. So, to keep your car in tip-top condition, take it now where you see the famous sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Well, here comes the swimming teacher and the housewife, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $3,000 question, Groucho.
But you never thought you'd be up here with $1.
I should say not, Mr. Morris. Never.
All right, here we go for $3,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully. And please, no help in the audience. Here it is. On a hill north of the Spanish town of Granada is the famous palace and citadel of the Moorish kings. For $3,000, what is the name of this famous place? Talk it over. All right, what is the answer you two have decided upon?
That's not the El Dorado.
No, I'm sorry. It's the Alhambra. Correct answer is the Alhambra, so that means the big question next week will be worth $3,500. Well, you lost the big money, but after all, you won $1 in the quiz. I'm sorry you didn't win more. Congratulations, and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Thank you.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $3,500. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see the DeSoto Fire Dome 8 tomorrow.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Safe speed depends on conditions. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is sign. S-I-G-N.
Really?
You Bet Your Life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
Well, what do you know? That's me. Well, here I am again with $3,500 for one of our couples.
Groucho, we have a young engaged couple for you now. They volunteered to be on the show just...
For me? Oh, how nice.
Well, not exactly. They volunteered only to be on the show just before we went on the air. And I'd like you to meet them, folks. Would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx?
Well, an engaged couple, eh? Well, that's welcome, youngsters, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. An engaged couple, eh? That's very romantic. And you're a very romantic-looking couple.
Thank you.
I guess that's because it's spring. And in the spring, a young man's thoughts lightly turns to mush. And occasionally income tax. Miss, what's your name again?
Sally Smoot.
Sally Smoot, did you say?
Yes, I did.
Well, Sally, you're a cute smoot. What's a smoot?
Well, it's an old German name, and it used to be Von Smoot, but they just cut off the Von and just left the Smoot.
Is Von still living?
Well, I think so.
How old are you, Sally?
I'm 18.
18?
Mm-hmm.
Gee, you're real young to be 18, aren't you? And you're going to get married, eh? Smart girl. You're going to get rid of the name Smoot. Is that the reason you're getting married?
No.
What's the name of the man you're going to marry?
Alden Oberjurgi.
Gesundheit. No, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon, Sally. What did you say?
Alden Oberjurgi.
No, you just made that up. Seriously, you mean you're going from Smoot to Oberjurgi? How far is it from Smoot to Oberjurgi? I made the trip once by shrimp boat. I don't remember how long it took me, though. Mr. Oberjurgi, what kind of...
Well, it's partly Polish.
Police?
Polish.
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 Are you from Poland? What part of Poland are you from, Alden?
Jacksonville, Illinois.
Well, that's behind the Iron Curtain, isn't it?
United States.
Oh, I thought Jacksonville was in Florida. Well, I'll just call you Al, eh?
That's fine.
I could keep calling you Mr. Oberjurgi, but then we wouldn't have time for the big question later on. Or anything else for that matter. Why don't you just shorten it to Jakey? Or have the Ober cut off by the same fellow that cut your name down. Mr. Ober, when are you going to get married?
Well, sometime around the 4th of July.
What a curious way to observe Independence Day. Well, I guess the fireworks will start after the ceremony. Do you have a job, Sally?
Yes, I do. I work for Vandekamps Hall and Dutch Bakeries.
You work in a bakery?
Mm-hmm.
Is that so? What do you, first thing you do in the morning? I suppose you call the rolls, huh?
No, I put on my cap and my apron.
Oh. Is that all you do? You just put on and then you go home? Huh?
No.
What sort of work do you do? Do you wear a cap and gown, too?
Well, I wear a cap, but I don't wear a gown. I run a service station.
Well, run it over here. I'm out of gas.
I can't.
Where do you run this service station?
Well, I run a Chevron service station on the corner of 2nd and Santa Ana in Belmont Shore, Long Beach, California.
That was a nice plug, Al. Buttering up the boss a little, eh?
Well...
You suppose he'll give you a raise after that?
No, I don't think so. I'm the boss.
Not after the 4th of July, you know. Well, you're a lovely, nice, wholesome American couple, and I'm sure you're going to be very happy together, and you have my best wishes. I hope there'll be many little Oberjurgis. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $3,500 question. Right now, there's something of importance to everybody that I want you to listen to.
Put yourself in the driver's seat. Step down on that accelerator. Then feel that power. Surging power. Power you never dreamed a car could have. That's what you'll experience when you drive the new, the spectacular, the 160 horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome 8. Your DeSoto Plymouth dealer invites you to stop in and try this great new car yourself from behind the wheel. Once you drive it, you'll want the new DeSoto Fire Dome 8. DeSoto's mighty 160 horsepower V8 engine gives you power with smoothness never before achieved. extra power in all speed ranges. But of course, that's only one big reason why you should decide on DeSoto. DeSoto also brings you sensational power steering that lets you turn the wheel with one finger, even when the car is at a standstill. And of course, power brakes, safety rim wheels, waterproof ignition, Oriflow shock absorbers, feature after feature that makes DeSoto your very best car value. Tomorrow, stop at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers and see America's most talked about new car, the 160 horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome 8. Drive it.
All right, now let's see how well you work together as a team. George?
Yes, sir. All right, you bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions. And the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $3,500 DeSoto Plymouth question later in the show.
That's pretty clear, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even I understand that. All right, let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected songs with a color in the title as your category. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
All of it.
All of it? All right, what is the name of this song? Play, Jerry. All right, what do you say, kids?
Silver strands among the gold.
Well, silver threads amongst the gold, but that's close enough.
And you're on your way. You have $40.
That's a pretty old song for a young couple, I think.
I never heard it before.
I never heard it before either. Remember, you're going to $3,500 tonight. Now, how much of this swag of the $40 are you going to risk this time?
$40.
$40, huh? All right, give me the title of this song. Moon is right.
Oh, you're really climbing. You now have $80.
The songs are getting younger and they're getting faster. Here's your third question. How much of the 80?
80.
80. See if you can identify this tune. Okay, Mr. Fielding.
Green Eyes.
Green Eyes is right.
You now have climbed to $160.
Here's your last chance to be the other couples. How much of the 160?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it, huh? They're real gamblers. You know, if you win this, that's as much as you can earn on this show, including my salary. Here we go. Play it, Jerry. The old gray mare is not what it used to be. Put it there. Don't kiss me.
And you wind up with a grand total of $320.
Thanks and good luck, Minnesota. Thanks and good luck, Minnesota. It's hopeless. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Groucho, we invited some horsewomen and some fishermen to the program tonight.
What are they, centaurs?
And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Mrs. Marjorie Kessler and Mr. Andrew Mardisick. And here they are, folks. Meet Groucho Marx.
Well. Welcome to the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. The common word, something you see every day.
Fish.
A horsewoman. You don't have to look at me when you say fish either. I'm sure I inspired that. A horsewoman and a fisherman, eh? I presume you're the horsewoman, eh, Miss Kessler?
Mrs. Kessler.
Oh, that sounds too bad. I'm sorry. Well, you're a very attractive filly. Where are you from? Philadelphia?
No.
You're not from Philly?
No.
Where are you from?
Cornish, New Hampshire.
How old are you, Marjorie?
Oh, that's not a fair question, is it?
Well, give me a crooked answer. I don't know. We don't object to a little chicanery here. You're young enough to admit your age, but it isn't necessary. I'll find it out later anyhow. I would say you're 19.
Thank you, sir.
Now I know she isn't. Huh? Are you married, too, huh?
Yes, sir.
How long you been married?
10 years.
10 years?
Yes.
You're 27. What does your husband do?
He's a builder.
He's a builder?
Mm-hmm.
Of what, blocks or
No. Houses.
houses?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you meet him? Were you wearing your foundation at the time? How did you meet him, Marjorie?
I met him in a barn.
Well, you couldn't pick a better place, huh? What was he doing there? Was he a horse at the time?
No, but he had a very nice horse.
He did, huh? What were you doing in the barn?
Well, admiring the horse.
Did you go there every day just to admire that horse?
Well, he was an awfully nice horse.
And you finally married him, huh? Well, that's very good. Mr. Mardisish?
Yes, sir.
You just made that up, huh?
No,
What
that's
kind of a
my
name is Mardisish?
Slav name with itch.
You say you know a Slav who's got the itch?
With itch.
I'm not interested in your friends. I want to know what name you use.
My father's name.
That's your father's name, huh? You're a fisherman?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. What kind of a fisherman?
Tuna.
That's a piano, isn't it? Well, be careful with your hook. You're talking to one of the biggest suckers in California. Are you married?
Yeah.
Well, you're the sucker then, not me. Some fisherman, he got caught himself. How did you meet your wife?
On a dance. One time I went to the dance with my girlfriend and was tag dance.
You what?
Was tag dance. Somebody got my girlfriend.
And
correct.
what is a tag dance?
Dance when you get another girl to dance.
No. You didn't like the girl you brought to the dance, is that it?
Well, I make mistake. There was my girlfriend and today my wife was same but size and the same dress up and I make mistake.
You know, I haven't understood anything that's been said to me tonight. This has been a real baffling evening so far. Now, what do you fish for, Andrew? Compliments, mainly?
For living.
And do you catch many of those?
All depends on luck.
What kind of fish do you catch, Andy?
Tuna.
How big is a tuna?
2 pole.
2 pole? Why do you measure a fish by a pole?
When
you don't measure a pole by a fish, do you?
When 1 pole can handle, you put 2 pole on 1 hook.
You put 2 poles on 1 hook, huh? How big? And how big are those fish?
Pretty good size.
He thinks he's under oath here, I think. Well, let's horse around a bit, you and I. For example, Marjorie, what kind of a horsewoman are you? Do you work on a ranch, or do you drive a milk wagon, or just what does it consist of? Do you ride bareback, or do you wear an overcoat?
I do most of my riding in horse shows.
In horse shows, I see. Well, you're a society horsewoman, is that it?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Well, you can if you want. What do you do at the horse show?
Well, I ride jumpers.
Just jumpers, huh? Do you wear them or do you ride them?
I ride them.
Well, tell us about the jumping event. This ought to be quite interesting.
Well, there are different types of jumping classes.
Mm-hmm.
There are, there's the 5-foot class, the touch and out class, a knock down and out class.
That sounds like society, all right. That's society at Cero's. What do you mean by the knock down and out class?
Well, the horse that, if a horse knocks down a fence, he is eliminated.
I knocked down a fence the other day. You only want to give me $12 for a gold watch. Well, I learned a lot tonight, thanks to you two. And if you want to learn something, just drop in and see your new DeSoto Fire Dome 8. It's a great car. Now, you're going to play You Bet Your Life. Beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $3,500 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The engaged couple won $320, and the secret word is sign.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected sports parks and stadiums. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
$18.
$18.
All right. In what city is the Yankee Stadium?
New York.
New York is right.
And you're on your way. You have $38.
Remember, you're going for $3,500 tonight. How much of the $38 will you bet this time?
37.
37. In what city is the Orange Bowl?
It's in Florida. Miami.
What city? Miami is right.
You now have $75.
You've never taken your horses there, have you?
Can we get a set in you?
All right, here's your third question. How much of the $75 will you bet?
74. Huh? 74.
This is the last question, huh?
No.
No, you got one more after this.
Okay.
74.
74. In what city is Soldier Field?
In Chicago.
Chicago is correct.
You have now climbed to $149.
It's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
Whole business.
All of it. In what city is Franklin Field? Talk it over. Franklin Field.
It's in Illinois.
What city? Take a stab if you don't know. There are only 3,859 cities in the United States.
I don't know. It isn't in Detroit, is it?
No, it's Franklin Field. It's in Philadelphia.
Oh, they went broke, Groucho.
Sorry, you went
Lost
broke
all
on
you
the last
want.
question.
Oh, well.
Well,
And
nobody
then-
leaves here broke. We're going to give you one more question. If you get this right, you'll split $25 between you. Now think carefully and please no help from the audience. You ready? How many leaves in a four-leaf clover? Four is right, Andy. Put it there. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
We asked for some housewives and some husbands to volunteer tonight, Groucho. And here are the two that were chosen. Mrs. Lillian Sweet, Mr. Herman Zuckerman. Would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, folks, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. A housewife and a husband, eh? Lillian Sweet and Hyman Zuckerman. Well, now, let's see. Lillian, where are you from?
I was born in Redlands, California. I'm a native.
Oh, a native, huh? Well, that's most unusual, huh? And Hyman, where do you hail from?
Oh, I was born in New York City where the Essex Street Park is.
Where is? Where what is?
Essex Street Park is
Essex
there.
Street. Oh, I see. We'd rather you wouldn't mention that name on this show if you don't mind.
I can't help it. I'm
I'd like you to realize that Ferdinand DeSoto discovered the Mississippi River, in addition to the Fire Dome 8. How long you're married, Lillian?
Yes, we've been married 19 years.
Really? Well,
Yes.
you're an extremely young-looking woman to be
Thank
married
you.
that long. Your husband must have treated you most gently these years, huh?
Yes.
Lillian, it isn't necessary to shudder when I mention your husband. How long have you been married, Hyman?
First time 5 years, and second time 30 years.
How did you get the reprieve? What happened the first time? Something must have happened.
My mother-in-law came to visit us.
Say no more, Hyman. I understand perfectly. How did you meet Exhibit B?
I married my mother-in-law.
Well, that's certainly an original way of getting rid of your mother-in-law. Now, would you mind explaining that, if there is an explanation? Precisely what happened, Herman?
Oh, I met my mother-in-law in a department store, and she was a widow at the
Just
time.
a moment. Do you make a practice of roaming through department stores, picking up elderly women? Eh?
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Sometimes. Pretty honest about it. Now, Mrs. Sweet, how did you meet your husband?
Well, he came out with my sister's boyfriend, and he came out to meet me, and I had made a previous date, and I went on my date and left him there to play rummy with my parents that evening. I think he lost about 65 cents.
Well, was he a rummy at the time, or was it just a...
That was just a game they were playing.
I see. Now, what did Mr. Sweet say when he proposed? Do you remember? Did he whisper sweet nothings to you?
Well, no, he didn't propose. My brother-in-law did the proposing.
This has been a tough night all evening. Well, that's natural. You married your brother-in-law, Hyman married his mother-in-law, and I was a male war bride. Lillian, if you married your brother-in-law, what happened to Mr. Sweet? He's sour on the whole thing by this time, I guess. Huh?
Well, no, my brother-in-law married my sister.
And your husband married Hyman's daughter-in-law, is that it? You better explain about that proposal, Mrs. Sweet.
Well, we were invited by my brother-in-law and my sister to their house to dinner, and I think it was just about the middle of the soup course that my brother-in-law said that there was a nice apartment for rent next door, and they thought we'd make a nice neighbors, so why didn't we get married and occupy the apartment next door? So we got married and moved in.
Did you ever finish the soup?
I've forgotten.
Well, you're a nice couple, and it's been interesting talking to you. That's what I like about this program. You meet nice, normal people every day. Just like you and me. Now, before I proceed with this, I'd like the audience to know that there's a popular library edition of Kyle Crichton's book, The Marx Brothers, that is now on sale at all drugstores for 2 bits. It's true, and the book originally was $3. That'll give you an idea of the book. No, I may be prejudiced, but I think it's a wonderful book, and my advice to you is to rush down and buy a copy of this book. I'm sure you'll be crazy about it. All right, now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $3,500 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The engaged couple still lead with $320.
Let's see how high I can bid you $20. You selected songs about occupations as your category. Here's your first question. How much of the $20 will you try?
How much should we go?
1999.
1999?
1999. All right. What is the name of this song? Play, Jerry.
Volga Boatman?
The Volga Boatman.
And you're off to a good start. You have $39.99.
They really weren't very vulgar. They were nice fellas. Huh?
$39.98?
Yeah. That's good.
Remember, you're going for $3,500. You're going to bet $39.98? Give me the title of this song. Play, Jerry.
Let it rain.
Prisoner's Song.
Prisoner's Song is right.
You're climbing. You have $79.97.
You have $79.97. How much you going to bet?
$79.96.
All right, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
$79.96.
All right, play it, Jerry.
Come on, you guess, too. Peanut Vendor.
Peanut Vendor is right. All right. Now you have $159.93.
Shoot the work.
You had too much to say tonight anyhow. All right. Okay. It's your last chance to be the other couples. You're going to bet what?
All of it.
All of it.
Mm-hmm.
Play it, Jerry. How much did they win? $319.86.
You wind up with $319.86, and that means that the engaged couple with $320 in just 1 minute get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $3,500 question.
We missed it by 14 cents.
Well, I'm
14
sorry.
cents.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Easter time, when we all like to blossom forth in our new spring outfits, is a good time of year to think about our car, too. A good time to check up on its appearance for the summer driving ahead. Remember, when it comes to your car, good appearance is more than a matter of pride. It's also protection. So tomorrow, drive in to your DeSoto Plymouth dealers and tell him you'd like to have his springtime appearance special. There's no better way to maintain your car's present high value. First of all, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer will give your car a thorough washing and polishing, thus removing dust, dirt, salt, and grime. Your car will get a thorough cleaning job inside and out, including upholstery, carpeting, and luggage compartment, too. Your DeSoto Plymouth dealer will touch up any traffic scars that might mar the appearance of your car. He'll stop any rust wherever he finds it. He'll give your car a paint touch-up wherever it needs it. So drive in to your DeSoto Plymouth dealers for that springtime appearance special tomorrow. You'll be surprised how little it costs. Just look for the famous sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And here comes the winning couple, Groucho, the engaged couple, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $3,500 question.
Well, if you get this, you can get married tonight. All right, here we go for $3,500. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer, and please no help from the audience. When the government decided to build a hydrogen bomb, they chose a private corporation to do it for $1 a year. What corporation has been assigned to build this bomb? What is the answer you two have decided upon?
Oh, I read it. Was it the War Department they decided?
No, I asked you what corporation has been assigned.
No, I don't know.
Well, the correct answer is DuPont.
Yeah.
So that means the big question next week will be worth $4,000. Well, they lost the big money, but they won $400 in the quiz, George.
320.
320. Well, congratulations, and give each other a big kiss. Thanks. Congratulations and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $4,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see the DeSoto fire don't make tomorrow.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. You're looking for trouble when you look away from the road. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.